Hello and welcome to Simple Life Tarot. My name is Sahil Sharma, ready to make your life simpler. All right, so I have had a lot of questions about purpose, life's purpose. So why do I say that? Why did I really want to make a video on that? I also come from a profession which deals with a lot of life coaching, people development, leadership development, and so on. So it kept coming more often in the past few weeks, and I thought, let me just make a video about it and let me help out, clear out some of those questions in people's minds. It's pretty interesting. I think this has been a question that has been in people's minds for a long, long time. Every individual comes to a level, to a phase, to a chapter in life when they start questioning, what might my purpose be? Why am I here? What skills should I be tapping into? What can I make my real purpose? You know, a lot of people are dissatisfied with their jobs these days. They're sometimes dissatisfied with their personal lives these days, just do not know. It's such a chaotic world. So what I'm going to do is I have 3 piles of cards. I'm going to keep it very simple. I also have another set of cards which are more or less the oracle cards. It's from the Divine Gita, which is a holy book. These are the scriptures from it, which has supposedly all the answers of life that we might be seeking. So we will be taking some help and divinity guidance from this set of cards as well. But what I'm going to do is I have 3 piles, so I have to pause for a second and show you the pile so that you can see the pile. And before you do that, I'd like you to close your eyes for a moment and meditate and ground yourself for a moment and repeat the question in your mind, which is, what is the purpose of my life? What is the purpose of my life? What is the purpose of my life? Repeat that a few times, ground yourself with this thought, bring all the thoughts down, try to clear your mind as much as possible. And then choose one of the piles that I'm just going to be showing you. All right, so give me a second right here. So here are 3 piles that I have for you. One is, I've just marked them so that it's clear, no questions, no confusions here. So this is pile number 1. It's with the rose quartz. It's pile number 2 with the yellow citrine, which I love. And of course, the 3rd pile, which I have the orange calcite. All right. So I'd like you to meditate on this question, what is my life purpose? What is my life's purpose? Think about that, open your eyes, look at one of these piles that are drawn towards you, or you're drawn towards in one of those piles. Could be the stone that you're most drawn towards, your rose quartz, your yellow citrine, or your orange calcite. It could be anything. It could be these beautiful numbers that I put for you on those handmade cards. It could be anything. So give you a moment, do that, pause this video for a second. And we are going to start unpacking each of these piles once you have chosen your piles. All right, so you probably have chosen your pile. So let me unpack those piles for you. So I'm going to start with pile number 1. Let's see, what do we have here? So you've got 3 cards. Well, the first card is, I'm going to talk about each of the cards in a second. Let's see. So these cards basically will be telling you what talents might you tap into, or which might you have, or you haven't discovered yet, but these are indicators that you might have and you might want to tap into to seek that purpose for your life. So you have to see what you have as your strengths, what do you have inside of you that you can leverage to seek a path in life. So that's the intent. All right, so card number 1 I see here is the King of Swords. This is the King of Swords card. We'll talk about that. So King of Swords, you've known, if you've followed tarot a bit, swords is all about your intellectual senses, your mind, It's usually never considered to be a very, very interesting pile for a lot of people. But then it has some pros and cons, of course. I think every deck or every suit has that. So King of Swords, so I just always love to see the images, right? What are they really saying to you? So this man, King of Swords, is hanging between the air, right? And he is looking down. He feels very intellectual, very smart, yet at the same time very cold. And he's sitting on a throne which has sun at the back, which means he has the power. He has a lot of power in him, right? So his purple, dress, the thing that he's wearing, the robe that he's wearing is purple. Purple is also a color of spiritualism and spirituality and higher level of wisdom, which means he's carrying a lot of wisdom. So intellectual wisdom, if I might just collect it all together, bring it all together, and sitting on this throne with a lot of power. So which means it could be analytical power, it could be military, it could be people in police, right? People into investigative work, people into deep analysis, could be any kind of profession, could be IT, could be people in law, people in justice system, people could also be in taxation or accounting, finance, might I say that use their brain a lot. They're organized people, they know what they're doing, they're pretty clear and black and white. So there comes the strength. I told you a lot of strengths that you might have, right? So if you resonate with that, and don't get into always that, hey, I'm not good in math, probably this is the wrong card for me. No, look at your strengths. How do you look at things as you want clarity on things? Are you black and white? Your thought process is black and white. Do you need a sense of direction? Or do you have the power to provide a sense of direction to people, guide them towards their goals, right? Guide them towards their goals. So this card definitely has a lot of power to it, the King of Swords, right? And this card might also bring a little bit of dryness, which means, you're not thinking from the heart, of course, you're thinking from your mind, you're acting out of your mind. So might be a little hard towards others, or comes across as a dry person, not really, showing very affection, a lot of affection to others. It's more about the power and influence, which is a great thing. You could be leading companies, you could be leading the justice system, you could be leading a financial institution, it could be a lot of things. And you don't have to be when I say leading, I do not necessarily mean that you have to be in a formal authority or in a formal position. What I mean is, this is the power of influence. So, and you can do that without a title, with or without a title, does not matter. It's the power of influence, especially related to your mind, your intellect, that you exercise and influence your environment around. So that's a great, great card for you right there. So interestingly, I'm seeing like all different cards from different suits. So we'll see how they all come together. I see a card here which is called the Ten of Cups. So suddenly we move from the Swords suit to the card, which is the cup suit, which is also the Ten of Cups, which is, again, the imagery. I just wanted you to see the imagery. Shows a peaceful environment, a very homely environment. People are at peace. These two women are doing their own chores, whatever they like. There's a sense of contentment, right? There's emotional stability right there. Seems like the universe is with you. I see all 10 cups are hanging in the air. There's beautiful rainbows behind. There's greenery. There's a sense of emotional stability, peace, happiness, close family bonds. There's a sense of togetherness in this card altogether, right? Because there's a house in the back too. This brings some kind of emotional family stability on the emotional front, of course, is what I'm talking about. So some of these skills is you like peace. You like to create that sense of contentment in your family. It could be, so you do that, or you create environments that allow such environments to surface on their own. So bringing harmony, bringing peace, bringing some love and family grounding. So how do I see these two cards as together? So let me try to knit things together as we go along. So swords, as much as you could be the power of the house, which means the man of the house or the woman of the house, whomsoever you are right now, most likely a man if I'm looking at, doesn't matter, it's more about the personality here. So if you are the bread earner of the family, or one of those higher authorities, again, no titles in the family, right? You have a say in the family and an upper hand. You could also be the one doing that intellectual work, earning for your family, and bringing a sense of peace and stability, which is related to your emotions, right? Imagine if you are short of money, or if you're struggling at work. Do you think you can bring enough amount of money, financial stability, or even let's say a psychological safety net for your family at home? Answer is no, you cannot do that. So these two cards definitely can go together. They do have a story to share with you. So you do have a want or a need to bring family stability. You have a great mental power or psychological strength, and also an analytical strength, as we were talking about. And the third card is the Knight of Pentacles. So amazing card, right? Knight of Pentacles. Pentacles, again, it's all related to your earthly matters. It's related to your finances. It's related to your, again, the resources that you might tap into. So what it shows here is the Knight of Pentacles. Usually knights, they bring some kind of, let's say, some kind of movement in the card. So of course our question is different here. It's about the purpose. So I can also see the purpose where you might be moving into is, it could be finances. It could be related to finances. So if you're using, so let me put this card these cards like this so that it can make a little more sense for you. So you can use a lot of your analytical skills, your mental strength, or whatever you are working on in finance, in militaries, in police, or wherever you are, doesn't matter. But it can definitely drive you towards having financial abundance that is coming your way in life. And this will definitely satisfy your family and you in bringing some peace and emotional stability. All right? So I hope you can make some connections. I agree. You might not be able to resonate with it completely, but that's where I like you to think a little deeply. Do not jump to conclusions right away. Think about it a bit, contextualize the information, see where might this information be talking to me, in which area of my life, which context of my life, right? How can I leverage these cards, these strengths of mine, whether I'm analytical or, I have this sense of seeing things very clearly, cutting the rubbish off, and really seeing through things and influencing people, and leading organizations, leading people, leading those departments or areas of profession where it requires some organization, some discipline. So where can I tap into those strengths? Which profession that can bring me some money, and I can have some family stability and peace and happiness. So that was pile number one. I also told you I'm going to pick up a card from my Gita deck, which is one of my favorite cards, decks. So let me shuffle that right in front of you and see what comes up. It's just one card from there as well. So what is the life purpose for people who looked at the pile number one? So let's see what comes up. I don't know what comes up, so let's see. Let's pick it up. Okay. So this is the card of Ganesha. It says sacrifice. Sacrifice. Where did sacrifice suddenly come in? So let me see the complete picture here now. So there is a lot that is happening. Of course, there is, let me put it back this right way that I was showing it to you earlier. So yes, you can use your intellect and your power of influence that you might have. And discipline that you might have. You can earn money, of course, get financial abundance through whatever you engage in to harness that area of yours. You can achieve family happiness and stability, but also it might require some sacrifice along the way. That's the message. You might be You might have life might want you to sacrifice a bit. It could be, again, it could be a sacrifice towards, because it's coming last, it could be sacrifice either. See, the beauty of these cards is, this pile is, I have swords, I have pentacles, and I have cups. So it could indicate that you are, or you might be required to make some sacrifices along the way throughout. Either it's your intellect, in your mind, how you're influencing people. You might have a tendency to overdo things, so you might have to sacrifice that side of you a little bit, tone it down a little bit to keep moving forward towards financial abundance. At the same time, remember, there's a movement towards financial abundance. It does not indicate yet that you have achieved it. So there's an indicator. So it might need you to sacrifice a bit of his, maybe it could be a salary. It could be, to move forward. Sometimes you take a little drop of salary to move forward, to catapult your career forward. Could be that, right? So that ultimately you can achieve financial, some emotional abundance as well towards your family, towards yourself. It could also indicate a bit of sacrifice there too. You might be working while these women of the house, sitting back home, taking care of the house, grounding a peaceful environment at the level of your house, right? Personally. So it could mean that you might have to do a bit of sacrifices along the way as you go through this entire journey. So that's pile number one in its complete essence. All right. Now let's do pile number two. Pile number two, yellow citrine. What do you have? All right, quite interesting. A lot of kings coming up in these piles. So the first card that I'd like to talk about, again, talking about the strengths of the skills that you might have that you can tap into to see your life's purpose a little bit more clearly. So the first card is King of Pentacles. And this is also amazing that I see the three cards. One is Wands, one is Swords, and one is Pentacles. All different. So I don't see any pattern as such. So the first card, like I said, this is the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles, he's the king. The name is telling you all. He is the king. And as the imagery says, here's have a look. Have a look. Have a look. So this gentleman, the King of Pentacles, is sitting on his throne, very confident man, feeling very financially, stable. He knows where his resources are. Again, crossing his legs. The green, a color of abundance, growth, progress, right? And there's again sun behind him, shining, the symbol of sun. Again, he's being blessed by the universe right there through the strength of the earthy or materialistic side of life, right? So he's pretty content, seems pretty content. At the same time, he seems very kind to me. He seems very kind to me. There's no arrogance in his life, in his eyes. Overall, he's content. He's looking up in the sky, sitting in these lush green fields. The sky is clear. You can see the planets and the stars. So this King of Pentacles has the ability to be kind, to be nurturing, and have a lot of financial abundance towards him, which he can also share with others. He has that ability. He has the knack of doing a lot of hard work. He knows that money cannot just be achieved through lotteries. He knows that it requires hard work. So we see the entire suit of Pentacles. It requires a lot of hard work in between. It might also require a lot of learning along the way. You might have to go to institutions, the colleges, the universities to gain more learning so that you can get to where you want to be and gain that financial abundance. So this king owns that arena. That's why he's the king of that arena. So what skills might you have? What strengths might you have through the King of Pentacles? You're very kind, first of all. You have the knack of knowing how to make money. right? You could be great in finances again, or how to make money out of in financial streams. You could be very, at the same time, giving, very caring towards people when it comes to finances. What I see is, if you have a lot of money, my friend, you could be a philanthropist as well, where you're trying to be kind towards others. And do not confuse it with cups. I'm not talking about emotional, but you have the capacity to do that, or even making investments, banking. You could be in banking, you could be in finances, because you have the money, you know how to make money from money. So you could be investing and reinvesting and making more money out of that, right? And this, also there's no greed to it, is what I see, because there's a sense of calmness, there's a sense of groundedness, there's a sense of contentment along. So there's less of greed, but rather some smartness, yet kindness, and you know how to make more money. So that comes to you, There's a sense of abundance towards in your life. So you don't have to struggle to get money a lot. But you also know it does not come for free. You gotta work for it. So that great mindset of appreciating life, that if you have the skills, you gotta use it right way, and you have to work hard towards earning that money. So that's a very positive way of moving ahead. No shortcuts in life. You know that you have to work hard towards it. So that's a great strength when it comes to being a king of pentacles, or extracting the strengths out of this card that you can tap into. Right? Hard work. It's a lot of hard work there, and you know how to make money. So that's another great strength to make in today's world. The second one is a Page of Wands, is what I see. The Page of Wands. So what does Page of Wands tell you? Here's have a look. So Page of Wands, again, pages usually bring new events in life. It also shows Wands is a sign of, or a card, or a suit of passion, creativity, entrepreneurship, right? Ideas, thoughts. There's a sense of youth inside of you, right? So you could be very creative. You know how to bring out new ideas, or you just have that innate ability to think about new ideas. You can think of new ideas. It could be new projects at your work. Your personal life, could be professional life. Now start seeing, if you have the money, right? If you have the money or lack of making money, you could be very creative in making that money, right? Through new ideas. The only caveat is right now, till now, right, is to think through, right? If you're trying to make money, think through. You could be very excited in making money with new ideas. You just want to jump into things, do things, be excited about it, yet you need to think through, because, hey, you gotta make money, right? Or you gotta be more abundant, materially abundant. So think through, but you do have a lot of creative side to it. That's another strength. Tap into your creative strengths. Card number 3 is the Six of Swords. Swords is back. So what is the Six of Swords telling you? Again, the imagery, very important. How does the card look like? What is it telling you? So I see 6 swords being turned down into the boat, or the little cruise, the mini cruise, single person cruise, who is moving away. She's moving, this person, actually it's a she in the card, with the hoodie, moving away, looking towards the future, right? Trying to make a travel, do some travel over the waters. She's trying to move away. Now, what strength might you pick out of this? What I feel is, through this card, you have the strength to navigate through the challenges and change your course of action. It shows me some agility, some flexibility. Be open to moving from one destination to the other, because you need to manifest some of the creative side of you, because you've realized that you can make money. So any typical phase or typical destination in life, typical chapter in life does not phase you out because of your passion, because of your creativity. You are okay. You're okay to move ahead. You're okay to change places. If you're told tomorrow, hey, move from Canada to US, move from US to Japan or to Australia, what may come to your course of action, you are open to it. All right? So yes, you are, it's a clear sky. I see again purple in the sky, a sense of spirituality, which means you're thinking not just from your mind, but also you're being blessed by the universe. Yeah, there's universe with you. This sense of calmness in this Six of Swords. And none of the swords, if you really see, are really hurting you. They're around you, right? They're kind of your assets that you are collecting together, and you have the ability to collect your assets, of your intellectual assets together and bring them together, move to a place of abundance so that you can reach where you wish to reach in life as your purpose. So tapping into those abilities, one more card coming up for you from the deck of Gita. All right, so I'm going to shuffle these cards for you and see what comes up. One more card to make some more sense. The bigger scheme of things, what might that be? Meditating. What could be life's purpose of people who chose the second deck? All right, let's see what has come up for you. Oh, okay. It is the card of individuality. Individuality, what is it called? I've also made a video earlier as well about individuality, this card. I love this card. All right, so individuality really tells you that you have to understand your own strengths. So what it is telling me, right, and this is quite an interesting situation. Now, the question is, what might my life's purpose be? Or what is my life's purpose? The first thing is to tap into your own self, your inner self, right? And learn about yourself more. Be more self-aware, have the self-knowledge, and then tap into these other things that we've just talked about, right? So the first step towards finding your life's purpose is tap into your own strengths, see what else might you do. So, and I'll be very practical here, right? So yes, we are trying to be spiritual, we're trying to connect to our intuition, we're trying to get to the right path. At the same time, we got to be practical as well. So if you haven't done so, I always suggest, again, being a life coach, being a leadership coach, it's my duty to tell you that you might want to tap into some of the assessments. Some people look at things as personality assessments. There's tons of them online, free of cost. It does not cost you anything. So you can also go to my professional website. It's called learningcups.com. You can definitely tap into it. I have some free assessments loaded there. Go check them out. See what is coming up to see your unique side. So these are definitely some of the strengths that you can tap into, and that can give you the broader path of life, the broader side of your life's purpose. Yet there could be other skills that can support your life's purpose. So be practical as well in a way. Just make some actions, do some actions, take some actions. Go to the site again, learningcups.com. Check out the assessments tab on top. I've given a whole lot of free assessments up there. Links to that. Check them out. There are other articles and other useful resources out there too. So check that out. So take the first step, right? Find yourself, find your inner self. Be comfortable with yourself, who you are. Embrace your uniqueness. Embrace your strengths. Embrace your development areas. It's okay, right? Once you find that out, of course, be the king. Take the road that you are meant to be taking, right? This is that road of abundance, being the king of abundance, material abundance. You have that power in you, right? You have that uniqueness in you. Show and bring out your creativity as much as possible. Use that ability to be creative, to be the king of pentacles. And of course, if it requires you to use your strength of agility, adaptability, and movement, feel free to do so. That's what you're meant to be, my friend. All right, so that's deck number 2. All right. And I'm soon going to go to the third. It's quite a bit as I'm speaking. As I'm speaking. People ready? Deck number 3? All right, let me unpack that for you. Wonderful, beautiful. Okay, that's quite different than what patterns I was seeing earlier. Quite nice cards, we'll say. You probably want to see it. Probably want to see them. Of course you can. All right. I'm going to do like this. I'm going to show you card number 1. So I have 2 major arcana cards here, which I really like when you're talking about the purpose of life. Makes sense, all right? And I have one of the cards from the Wands suit. So let's talk about the first card that I've received is number 7, the card of Chariot. Very, very nice card, a positive card to look at. It's called the Chariot again. The Chariot card, again, I always love to see the imagery of this deck. Right? This is, by the way, the Gilded Tarot, my first deck. I've ordered more. Okay, the Chariot card. So this card shows a woman in her chariot, very proud, happy, has this beautiful purple dress around her. Again, a source of wisdom. Again, see, the sun is behind this card again, blessing through the power of the universe, giving the strength of life to this person, right? So, and we see 2 sphinx, right? The 2 horses, if you will, right? There's a yin and a yang, a positive energy, a negative energy in a way. The 2 sides of life which complete each other, right? It's a sign of duality, and a sign of victory in this card. So this does tell you that from a skills perspective, right? You have the ability to ride through your path, being in your chariot, yet embracing the 2 sides of life, the yin and the yang, at the same time, right? So this innate ability to see the pros and cons of situations, right? What is working, what might not be working, yet riding that chariot through the path of the victory is your skill. Not everybody has that ability, my friend. Not everybody has that ability to see things through the positives and the negatives, and yet ride that path, ride that chariot, and take it towards victory. So you always remain on, and I can also see that as a win-win situation. You could have the ability to collaborate with people, have that ability to negotiate with people, but things look very different, right? You try to create victory through those relationships. And that's a very positive skill to tap into in life. The more you can create win-win situations, as Stephen Covey says, it's one of the habits of the 7 habits of highly effective people. If you create win-win situations, you can move from a sense of independence to a sphere of interdependence, which will give you public victory as well as private victory. So remember that. A very, very lovely card for you to tap into your skill. Collaboration, negotiation, being able to see the pros and cons of situations and yet create a win-win situation. A great skill to have. So what purpose? Let's say in the sense of profession for a second. You could be a mediator in the banks, insurance companies, again, could be justice system, if you will, could be any of those mediator roles or things where people are, or places where people are not able to see things clearly or really make decisions, So you could be a good decision maker and create, let's say, positive relationships between 2 departments, 2 teams. It could be 2 organizations, helping in the mergers and acquisitions, right? Creating that win-win situations for people. So, abilities. And you also, when you're riding a chariot, I see a leadership ability in you. So you don't have to be behind the scenes. You could be riding right on that chariot, being in the front and center of the entire situation, taking deals through with a win-win mindset. Important. Lovely. So this card, the next one, in a way, if I see them connect, the connection in between also tells you that, by the way, this card is the Hanging Man. Not a lot of people like it because the way the man is hanging upside down. But that's not the point. If the man is hanging upside down, you see there's a sense of calmness. Seems like the person has either deliberately or by his own choice is hanging upside down. So what does that mean for you in this context of the life's purpose? So again, the sun symbol, not the sun symbols, is right there, giving the power. The chain, you see the one leg does not have the chain. It's only one leg that is chained up on the bar, the golden bar, right? The person is okay. He's not in pain or anything. This card really indicates, again, I think it kind of affirms what Chariot was telling you, right? It affirms that you have the ability to see things from different perspectives. And so it's a card that tells you that you are reflective in nature. So not everybody is patient enough to be hanging upside down to see things differently in life, right? And if you do, or when you do see things differently, you have the power to embrace the yin and yang of life. So, and that's where you have the ability also to come forward and do that for others. You just don't see that for yourself, but also see it for others, and you help people create win-win situations because you can put yourself in a position to see from a third-party perspective what is going on in the situations. Wonderful capability, wonderful capability. And the third card, my friends, that is the Ace of Wands, a lovely card of movement, marching ahead. There's a lot of passion. So, tell you what happens in this card, in this entire journey. So you are riding the chariot, right, with your innate power of seeing things, from both the sides. You embrace the duality of life. You do that with your own sense of peace and calm. You're okay and comfortable being in that position because it does provide you the insight into things and different perspectives. You can do that for others too. And not just that, you can move things forward as well for people or for yourself. That's a great ability. It's a great ability. 8 of Wands simply tells you that you jump the clear skies, by the way. The clear skies, lush green grounds, animals looking happy, grazing, sheeps. It's a beautiful sky. You can also move things forward fast. You just don't sit. A lot of people can get into analysis paralysis, right? Especially when they hang in upside down, thinking and trying about different perspectives. There is a chance, a huge probability that you will be stuck into analysis paralysis, but that's not the case. It's not the case for you. You have the passion, the creativity to move things forward into the right direction so that they can give you the results. They can give you the positive results that you're seeking. All right, so those are the 3 cards. Pile number 3, let me pick out your oracle card, the Gita card, and let's see what does it have to say for you. So just gonna meditate very quickly, see what's the purpose of life. Sorry, the card fell down. What's the purpose of life for people who chose pile number 3? The purpose of life for people who chose card number 3. What's the purpose of life for people who chose card number 3? All right, let's pick that card. Beautiful card. It's the card of the Krishna and Vishnu, Sri Hari Vishnu. That's the card. And the card is called Calm Meditation. It's Calm Meditation. What a lovely card. What a lovely card to accompany the rest of the set that we just received. As much as, so this tells you, and I'm going to read some of the text from the back as well. So because it's based on the verses, so you might not connect for you right here. Okay? All right, so as a lamp in a windless place does not waver, so the yogi whose mind is focused remains always steady in meditation on the transcendent self. So this card tells me that you have, again, it relates back to the card of self-reflection, being able to ground yourself, see things differently, right, through either meditation. So meditation is basically an indicator of the ability to calm yourself down, to ground yourself down and see things through from a different perspective, and have the ability to create win-win situations. All right? So a lot of story around it. I hope you found what you were seeking, found some answers to make your life simpler, your purpose simpler, and give you some insight so that you might want to maybe do a course correction on something that you might not have tapped into earlier. This is the time to tap into your skills, your talents, your knowledge, and take a natural course of action towards your life's purpose. All right, so not gonna stress this too much. Thank you very much for joining me. Please leave your comments so that I know if something has resonated with you. I'm gonna keep doing that. If you have particular questions that you would like me to address, I'd love to do that. Please let me know as soon as possible. Do not forget to please subscribe to the channel so that I can keep continuing the work that I'm doing. I'm also encouraged that people are watching, they are getting the guidance that they require. So I'm gonna keep making these videos to make your life simpler at Simple Life Tarot. I'll see you next time. Take care.